Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's That Proud Black Woman again, and I'm so excited to be doing the fourth episode of Inclusion and Diversity. Thank you for tuning in, and remember, subscribe, like, comment and share with your friends and family. So if you are interested in the first 3 episodes that I've had before, I'm going to leave the link in the description below. Make sure you go watch it, okay? So today we're going to be talking, yeah, you already guessed it right, inclusion and diversity. And this time the topic is different. The topic is actually how to improve inclusion and diversity at your workplace. So because I have a couple of points and I don't want this video to be too long, so I'm going to divide it into part 1 and part 2. So you're gonna have to come back next week to watch the part 2. So let's get right into the video. So the first point is, make sure you evaluate your management team. Like, evaluate your team to ensure that they portray that diversity and inclusion culture, and that you are employing from different walks of life. It's not just from the same group all the time. As I explained in the last video when I discussed the benefits of inclusion and diversity, I said if you have people from other groups and they have like a couple of them, like maybe 10 or 5 of them, then try to employ in such a way that there's a manager or somebody in leadership that's from that particular group or from a minority group, so that they can have a voice within your organization. That is, the makeup of your executive actually goes to say a lot about your company, about your organization. It says a lot to your workforce, it says a lot to your partners, it says a lot to your customers as well. So make sure that you are putting that in mind about the makeup of your executive, to ensure that they represent the different minority groups that you have, like employed from different walks of life, from different races, from different gender, from different backgrounds, things like that. Make sure that you have representative of whoever is in the workforce. Not necessarily if you have one Muslim, you have to hire a Muslim. That's not what we're saying, but we're saying that if you have a diverse workforce, make sure that also your executive is diverse. The second one I'm going to be giving you today is acknowledge and honor multiple religious and cultural practices, by creating a policy that honors variety of holidays and celebrations. Like if you have during the Christmas time, I know that a lot of company actually does a Christmas party. Rather than making a Christmas party, you can say holiday party, because it's not everybody that's a Christian. So in that way, you're including everybody. You're including the Jews, you're including the Muslim, you're including Pentecostal, Catholic, all those other religions. So make it as culturally and religiously accommodative as you can make it. Okay, so that's really important. I feel like a lot of people only think about race, think about gender, think about sexual orientation, but religion also does matter. So if you include that in your inclusion and diversity policies, or the way that you create, like the culture, if you include that in the culture of the company, I believe that it will also go a long way in speaking volumes about your company, and it will make your employee, your workforce, to be more comfortable working with you. So the third point that I have is encourage a company culture where every voice is welcome. Every voice is heard, every voice is respected, regardless of their age, regardless of their ethnicity, their sexual orientation, their background, cultural differences, country of origin. Like, just make sure that everybody's heard. By making sure everybody's heard doesn't necessarily mean that every idea that comes, no matter how silly it is, that you take it, but make people feel that you're hearing them, that you can hear them, that they have a voice and they can use that voice. So if somebody, where I work, if somebody comes to me now and say, this is an idea, I don't just I don't just shove it aside, like make the person feel stupid or something. Even if I don't agree with that suggestion, I would listen. And I would not make you feel bad about yourself. I would listen and I would say, yeah, thank you so much. But I would then explain why it wouldn't work in such situation. Not like just dismiss it just like that and they walk away, because it only goes to show that you only care about your opinion. You don't care about any other person's opinion. And at the end of the day, those people are the ones working in the workforce, bringing you all that money. So you should be able to listen to them, their opinion, and see how it could actually be implemented in the workforce. So that is really important when we're talking about changing the culture of inclusion and diversity. So the third one that I have is do not play favorites. I've seen this a lot of times and I cannot overemphasize it. Do not play favorites. In the last video that I had on benefits of inclusion and diversity, I made mention of bringing in a third party, like an alternative dispute resolution system. So if the person in question, if somebody like an employee reports or makes a complaint about a manager who is a friend to you, just so that you can clear every apprehension of bias, like appearance of bias, don't be playing. Don't even get involved. Find somebody else to take over that investigation, because otherwise, even if you're not playing favorite, it's going to appear as though you're playing favorite. So don't play favorite and practice basic courtesy. This is really important. Practice basic courtesy. Don't let people know you're humans too. Like, don't hide behind the veil of management. Don't hide behind the veil of executive. You know, practice common courtesy. When people come to you, employees come to pour out their grievances to you, show some empathy. Like, you are humans too. Let them know that they like you have an open door policy if need be, where people can actually walk up to you and tell you what they feel is going on and how they feel that you can go ahead, you know, to resolve the issues on ground. Because at the end of the day, these people, they're the one working. They know what they need, like they know what they need and they know how they want it to be implemented. So listen to their own point of view and then take it back to the executive. Sit down and try to find out a way you can make things work, a way you can make that idea work. And if it would not work, make sure that you communicate to them, be transparent with them, let them know, give them a reason. Don't just say no. Give them a reason why you're not able to use that idea, and make sure that you tell them that, well, we're keeping it in our archives so that when something comes up that the idea would actually be suitable for, we're going to be able to use it. That way it makes them feel, yeah, this executive, this leadership are actually listening. Another really, really important factor that I feel like a lot of companies deal with, especially I would say people of color, and I would say women, they deal with this all the time. It's been an ongoing battle for so many years, where there's been biases in promotion opportunities, in the process of evaluation, in reviews, in raises, employee raise. Like, also there's something called unconscious racism as well. Like, you have to change your policies in such a way that all this unconscious racism and sexism are checked. They're nipped in the bud. Otherwise, if you don't, it's going to affect your company. It's going to harm the company, and you don't want that. So make sure that you put up policies, and not just, I know I say put out policies a lot, but I don't just mean you putting out policies just in black and white, just for the purpose of it. You have to make sure that you follow up with these things. You have to make sure that they are fully implemented. Otherwise, you're not going to get that change in culture that you want towards diversity and inclusion. So make sure that you nip it all in the bud. Every unconscious bias, every unconscious sexism, nip it in the bud. So a lot of people always talk, I'm also a witness to this, because if you have seen the first ever video that I made addressing people at work, I was talking about how the system that reviews the resume kind of have a way that I think it has some kind of, it's not a blind system. It's able to identify demographics, like, is this person a woman? Is this person black? The name sounds black. The place where this person lives, all those things will make your resume not even be seen. Because I remember sometimes I'll send out more than 50 resumes in a day, like trying to make sure that I apply to as many And sometimes I will even match the job description to what I did, the experiences that I've had. Like so many times I go to meet employment hubs and talk to them about, you know what, I've been applying for so long, I don't know why I'm not getting called for interviews. And then later on I realized, I think it was my name. It was my name that was like limiting me, because they don't have a blind system of reviewing resumes. So what I did as a try, because I've heard about it, but I didn't believe it was true. So what I did was I changed my name from Olufikemi, I changed it to Kim. And I changed my last name from Ideoloje to Dell. So my name was Kim Dell. And I kid you not, within that week, I got 3 calls. I got 3 calls. So that just went to prove to me that, yeah, it was because of my name on my resume that already pegged me as a black person. Because of course the name sounds sounds really, really African. So in order for you to be able to make this inclusion and diversity work for your company, make sure that you create a blind system of reviewing resumes in such a way that you can, like, it cannot see any demographics. It just looks at the characteristics, the experiences, and the knowledge, the skills that that person has. That way, you're able to get diverse group of people. So I was talking to one of my bosses, and after I made the video, and then he was saying something like, you know what? Not that we don't want to hire people from BIPOC community, but every resume that's come on my table as being a white person, so I give them the job. So in my mind, I'm thinking, yeah, that's exactly what we're talking about, because there's no blind system of reviewing resumes. If you can't even make it through the robot that actually reviews the resume, then what hope is there? So that's the problem. Let us find a way to remove all this systemic racism, systemic bias, in such a way that people get more opportunities. Like, people spend all their life studying, gaining experiences and all that, but still they are not able to attain that height that they should have attained just because of their demographics, just because they are black, just because they are brown, just because they are LGBTQ, or just because they're of their age, of the whatever factor is there. So let us put all of this in mind. Remember, if you're in leadership, if you're an executive, if you're a manager, make sure that you include inclusion and diversity within your workplace. That way, it will not only be good for the employee, but it will be good for the general growth of the company. So that's all I have for you for today. I'm going to be doing more on how to improve inclusion and diversity. So this is part 1, and I'm going to be having part 2, where there's another 6 points that I'm going to be giving. So make sure you tune in next week, Friday. Remember, subscribe, like, share, comment, and let me know whatever you want me to talk about in my next video, because inclusion and diversity is very, very big. We can't finish talking about it. I know I promised 5 episodes, and this is the 4th one, so I have 1 left, but I'm open to continuing if you guys want me to. So just give this video 100 likes, and I will make sure that you get at least 2 more, and we'll keep going, and we'll see how this goes. It could be something that will be permanent. It could just be, it will end after 5 weeks. Let's just see how it goes. Okay, love you guys. See you in my next video. Bye.